Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? I'm going to give my big time impersonation. You guys know what it is. It's the big time. And anytime Freddie is on the stream, I'm very big time. So go ahead, give me my round of applause. uh, what's
Imitation is flattery.
What's going on, everybody? This is the one and only Freddie here at the Sports Empire Network. This is another episode of Freddie Facts. This is the episode where I'm 100% factual. Like you will hear no lies when you hear me talk because I say nothing but the truth. And man, I'm joined with one of the best panels there is in sports. The hardest working man in this media world. He don't sleep maybe 2 hours of the day. He's always grinding, always putting the work in. Coach Dante, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good? What's good, man? Happy to be back on the Freddie Facts. Happy to have my boy Mo, my guy Doug, man. Happy to have the Empire Sports Network family. I'm ready to get into it. Let's go.
Hey, it is nothing better when you have Lakers fans all around you. I want to welcome my brother Mo Better. What's going on, Mo?
Hey, what's good, fellas? Just glad to be here.
Yes, sir. And all the way down in Memphis, even though you never know. You might see this brother at a playoff game very, very soon when that purple and gold comes to town. Big time. What's going on, bro?
Yes, sir. I'm here. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Those that will be watching this later on, glad to be a part of Freddie Facts Show and Coach Dante and Mo Better. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Let's go ahead and crack this thing on up.
Yes, sir. Hey, keep quiet as kept. Coach really want to be a part of this family because see he wants to be a part of something that is contagious. He want to be a part of something that's love. He want to be a part of something that's great. Don't get me to preaching, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be in church tomorrow morning to go to celebrate Easter. Don't let me hey let's get to the first topic. The first topic of the night is we've heard Odell Beckham Jr. name all throughout the year. We've heard his name this offseason. He was rumored to go to Dallas at first. Jerry Jones passed on him. Then we hear about the whole Aaron Rodgers has a list for the New York Jets. They had conversations in Arizona earlier. Then we seen that the Baltimore Ravens offered him a contract. Now he's headed to New York to give a physical to the Jets. Where do you want to see Odell Beckham Jr. land? And Doug, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
I don't care. Shoot, what we got to get to the point that we get past this name recognition. At some point, somebody got to be honest and say it is what it is. Odell Beckham Jr. is not the guy from way back. This dude is injury prone. He's only limited to X amount of games. And I hope, for his sake, it's proven wrong. But where do I want to see him go? At this point in his career, he needs to go to a championship contender where all the pressure is not on him, where he can only play somewhere between 7 to 10 games. If he can play that much, the Jets is a perfect fit for him. They already got receivers there. He's not gonna have that responsibility of being the number one guy. He can be just a guy, and that's where he is right now. So if I had a choice, let him try to ride Aaron Rodgers' coattails and try to see if he can get another ring.
Doug, I really have a feeling if he would have went to the Cowboys, you'd be talking differently.
No, I
I
wouldn't
really
have.
do.
No, I wouldn't have. He's been our fourth receiver. Give me a break. He's not starting over Gallup. He's not starting over Brandon Cooks. He's not starting over CD Lamb. He automatically come in as your number four. So I mean,
I
really, how
think
many
that bro
balls?
should be a number three.
No, he wouldn't be a number
I
three.
think he's better than Michael Gallup. Still,
He probably is better than Michael Gallup, but they paid Michael Gallup big money. You're not gonna have a guy that you know what I'm saying? They paid him big money. He got to play. So no, I ain't been a Beckham fan anyway. I don't like him.
yeah. Hey, if he would have put that catch on me, I probably wouldn't have liked him neither.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely agree. Coach, where do you want to see OBJ land?
I think it's obvious, he's going to end up with the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' wish list was on his wish list. It appears that the Jets is mightily interested, and he may be interested in them. So you already got a 1,000-yard second-year player coming in, and Garrett Wilson, who's a stud immediately coming out of Ohio State. So he had a great season. He had a 1,000-yard season. Now you're going to have a running game. And soon, if I'm assuming that Breece Hall is going to be right coming off the ACL injury. You had a case he would have won probably offensive AFC Rookie of the Year if he stayed healthy. They proved to have a great defense as well, solid, improved secondary. So him being a veteran, adding that veteran leadership, a championship culture in that locker room, on side of Garrett Wilson, and the fact that you're going to get Aaron Rodgers as well, that's definitely going to help him out a lot. So I think it's probably obvious. Like I said, he's going to end up with the New York Jets, and he doesn't have to worry about being a number one wide receiver, because you got Garrett Wilson for that as well. And if Corey Davis can stay healthy, he can be a valuable piece. And don't forget, you got CJ Muzama from the Cincinnati Bengals who can make plays on the offensive side. So they're gonna have weapons on the offensive side and a running game. So they're looking pretty bright. Their Jets' future looking pretty bright in the AFC East.
All right, Mo.
I think the Jets is the landing spot that most of us have him going to. I still think he's a high-level third option as a receiver. He might be injury prone, but when he's right, he's still a playmaker. He still can be a difference maker without being the man. You don't have to be the man to make plays. He can still make plays at a high level. And I still think that he has something to offer to the younger receivers with his experience. And don't forget, when he's right, his route tree, I'm talking about what routes he can run at a high level, is as good as anybody's. So if he doesn't go to the Jets, just as a fan of the game, for the excitement of it, I'd like to see him go to the Chiefs. He needs to go somewhere where it's not only a championship contender. He needs to go somewhere where he has a quarterback that can fling the football. Because you can go a lot of places, but if you go somewhere where the quarterback can't throw the ball, you can't really highlight your own skills. So I think those are two really good spots for him. Those are both contenders, potentially at least. But Kansas City with OBJ as a second or third option, that would be interesting.
Let's not forget the things that Odell Beckham Jr. was doing when the last time we seen him play football. There was a chance that this dude was going to be the MVP of that Super Bowl. He was one half away. Let me say it again. He was one half away for becoming the MVP of that Super Bowl. He's a guy, like Mo said, that can run routes just about good as anybody in the NFL. He has good hands. He's quick. He's a playmaker. I'm going to go out the box. He should go to New York, but not the New York y'all mentioned. He should go to that big blue down there with the Giants, where he started at. Could you imagine? You give a weapon like that to Daniel Jones? Oh, Doug, sit back. It's going to be a ride, and it's going to be bumpy. But could you imagine giving Daniel Jones a receiver that knows how to play football, that knows how to run routes? I mean, just look what Saquon and Daniel Jones did by themselves last year. Could you imagine by giving him that? This is what New York needs. We need somebody that's box office. We need somebody on the side of Darren Waller that can help create separation from Waller.
You need somebody that's going to be parked in a hospital bed in New York Memorial Hospital after week 3 once he get hurt. That's what you're going to need. Hey, be quiet with all them.
Hey,
stop acting like he a number one receiver.
Hey, us in New York is flying the best doctors for Odell Beckham Jr. so he can stay on the football field. Because if healthy, that Giants team, I'm going to tell you this right here. If they get Odell Beckham Jr. and he stays healthy, they're the second best team in the NFC East.
What?
Let me say this for the folks in the back that cannot hear.
My God.
If they get Odell Beckham Jr. and they stay healthy, they are the second best team in the NFC East. Bro, the Giants defense isn't going anywhere. I mean, they're going to improve on the offensive line. Saquon is still there. He's going to have another great year. Daniel Jones is going to even improve from the last year to get even better because now he has Darren Waller. You bring in Odell Beckham Jr. I expect him to draft a wide receiver in the draft. Hey, bro, you still have Sterling Shepard. I mean, this team. Hey, I'm telling you, this will be the second best team in the NFC East. We see your Cowboys, bro. Y'all have a lot of flaws. Y'all have a lot of problems. I understand you guys gonna have a pretty good defense, but last time I checked, the last couple people that won the Super Bowl, they had pretty good offenses as well. And the Cowboys, I mean, I understand you brought in Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks don't really excite me. He's not an Amari Cooper. He's not an elite receiver in the NFL. We've seen CeeDee Lamb go small in big moments. We've seen are we sure Tony?
I ain't gonna argue with you. Just ask Coach Dante about Brandon Cooks. He's a Houston Texas. He'll tell you what he can do.
I understand.
I ain't got to argue with you.
I know what Brandon Cooks brings, but I'm not saying he's not an elite receiver.
Yeah,
are we sure?
He's just a 1,000-yard receiver. That's what he is. We'll take that. Any team would take that.
Hey, are we sure Tony Pollard's going to recover from that injury and become the Tony Pollard that you guys think of?
Are you sure that OBJ is going to line up for 3 games? Are you sure that Darren Waller, who's injury prone, going to line up for at least 7 games? Are you sure that traditionally known Saquon Barkley is going to be able to last a season? I mean, you got a whole lot of hopes on an ambulance team. Give me a break. Don't come to me. Don't come to me with hoping. Let's talk facts. I thought this was Freddie Facts, not Freddie Fantasies. I thought this was Freddie Facts. My God, son. Your whole lineup is injury prone.
But Doug,
good God, son.
Hey, like I said, Doug, I believe that he'll fit in right there and he'll elevate the Giants to a number 2 seed in the NFC East. I'm just saying.
And Daniel Jones? Oh, okay.
Daniel Jones, hey, I'm gonna tell you, you better hope Daniel Jones don't have a year like he did last year again. Because if he do, we need to have a conversation
about what?
About him being the better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
Oh my God,
he had a better season than Dak last year.
We gonna y'all see this? Whoever on here, y'all see this name right up here that say Freddie Facts. We need to change that to Freddie Fantasies just as soon as it shows because I'm hearing a lot of fantasy land going on right now.
Go look at the numbers, Doug. I mean, it's facts,
I'm going by the whole Saquon Barkley injury prone. So I ain't got to go through that. Y'all know. I mean,
I'm just talking about if you look at the numbers, Daniel Jones had a better year than Dak.
No.
Dak.
Well, no.
Go look at the numbers, bro. Dak.
The only number that you got is interceptions. That's it. Everything else Dak got him. Don't even try it. Go next topic. You ain't talking about nothing.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth.
I don't even think Daniel Jones threw for 20 touchdowns.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. What are you talking about?
In a 17-game season, he didn't even throw for 20 touchdowns.
Man, stop it, Freddie.
He made improvements, but
Freddie, you are legitimately tearing down the name of your show just by you talking. I don't get it.
Okay, so I got the numbers. Dak Prescott, he threw 66% he completed 66% of his passes.
Where was Daniel Jones? Stop right there.
67.
Okay, there we check mark Daniel. Go.
Dak threw for 2,860
and missed 5 games. Go ahead.
But still, Jones proved he's more durable. So that's shaking Daniel Jones again.
Oh, stop right there. Stop right there. Oh my God. Hey, I ain't gonna argue. Go ahead, Fred.
I don't want somebody that's not durable.
Go ahead, Fred. It's your
Daniel Jones threw for 3,205. And I'll give it to Dak Prescott. He threw for 23 touchdowns versus Daniel Jones, 15 passing touchdowns. That's not rushing.
Daniel Jones a whole season. Dak Prescott missed 5 games with broken thumb. Please.
But Doug, like I said, that's just passing.
Well, that just a knock against Daniel Jones.
Because I guarantee you, Daniel Jones have more rushing touchdowns than Dak too.
Well, we don't run. We don't run.
Well, it's not my fault that your quarterback's not a dynamic quarterback like mine. To Daniel Jones,
Hold
5.
on, stop. Did you just mention the word Daniel Jones and dynamic in the same sentence?
Bro,
I thought I was coming to a factual show here tonight. I didn't know I was coming to a fantasy land, fantasy island. I mean, good Lord, what is this?
Daniel Jones is I'm gonna tell you. Daniel Jones have done what we wanted Lamar to do. Lamar isn't as accurate at passing the football as Daniel Jones. We all do agree with that, correct?
No.
I don't know.
It's facts. Daniel Jones is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson.
You do realize you got to do it more than 1 year, Freddie, compared to a guy that's been an MVP of the league. Would you stop it? Stop embarrassing yourself.
I would also ask, like, what are your receivers' yards per catch playing with Daniel Jones, and also how many pass attempts Daniel Jones has? Because I don't think he threw the ball that much. Like, I think Daniel Jones, the best thing Daniel Jones do is run. He's fast. He's a great. He got wheels, but he don't really push the ball downfield. Like, I've seen a lot of Giants games. Daniel Jones, he dink and dunk a lot to get that 67%.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Nobody said anything when Tom Brady's dink and dunk. Just saying, bro.
You're comparing that guy to that guy?
I'm just saying.
I'm not. Listen, maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me.
Let me clarify something. Hold on, Coach. Let me clarify something. I'm not saying that Daniel Jones is better than Lamar. I'm not saying that Lamar is the better quarterback. I'm saying that if I had to choose a better passer, a better thrower of the football, it'd be Daniel Jones. That's all I'm saying. But let me get back on target. We talking about Dak, Dakota, Prescott.
You so disrespectful, Fred, for that.
How? Don't say that.
Just because Daniel Jones had one good season.
There wasn't real nothing. Really.
It's that one good season. He's better than Dak.
Oh, yeah. Dak threw 23 touchdowns, but he also had 15 turnovers. Horrible. Daniel Jones only had 5 interceptions all year long. I think that's pretty good for a guy that had a problem turning the football over. He definitely corrected that. I give all kudos to Brian Dable. All I'm saying is Dak Prescott did not play better than Daniel Jones this year. Daniel Jones had a better QBR rating than Dak. I mean, he had a better year than Dak. Okay? I want you to say it, Doug. Say it. Freddie, Daniel Jones had a better year than Dak this past season.
Freddie, change the name of your show.
Well, let's get into it. The next topic is: do you guys believe Dak Prescott can lead the Dallas Cowboys that have not been here in 27 years back to the Super Bowl? The last time he was in the Super Bowl, my brother Doug had a Jerry curl. Hey, he had it going on. He was dancing. He was pretty fly back in the day. I mean, Doug is the same Doug 27 years ago as he is today. Oh, Doug, I'm going to let you answer that question. Do you believe that he can lead y'all to a Super Bowl? Because, the time is right now. With all the quarterbacks leaving the NFC, it's the Cowboys' time to say, okay.
Not according to you, since Daniel Jones is the second best quarterback in the NFC. I mean, in the NFC East, why is it? Sound like you ought to be saying it's the Giants' time, since you got Dak probably as the third best now. I mean, come on now. Since you're saying that,
I will say this, Doug. Even though we have the better quarterback, you guys have the better overall team so far.
I can't tell, since you just said the Giants is the second best team in the NFC, in the NFC East. How you figure that?
I said we have the best quarterback in the NFC.
No, you didn't. You said you had the second best team in the NFC East. That's what you said earlier. I know I heard right. Now you just went in. So, but to answer your question, because really I'm not going to address this foolishness. Can Dak lead you to the Super Bowl? Yeah, if we're not dependent upon him. This is a team game. Dak Prescott is not, I've always said, he's not the number one option on this team. This team will be led by our defense this year, as it was last year, as it should be. This team is on offensively. Dak Prescott is probably going to be about the fourth name that you're going to hear in the pecking order on the offense. It's Tony Pollard. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb. It's probably now going to be a Brandon Cooks go with that. And then you might go to Zach Martin, offensive lineman. Then you're going to go to Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith. Then you might come on down to Dak Prescott. That's the way it really supposed to be. But since we have this narrative that the quarterback is supposed to be the leader of the team, it shouldn't be that way with us. He is not Mahomes. He gets paid like that, but he's not, the upper tier. He's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's Dak Prescott. He's not, but because of his contract, we get this narrative, what you just said for this Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, a rhetoric that's been on the you sound just like him, so I know where you get it from. What can go wrong will go wrong, all that kind of stuff. That's what y'all say. So my question is this: all the people that's talking, you talking about 27 years, and the 49er fans are the real ones I like to laugh at the most because they won in 1994. That's the last time they won. The Cowboys won in 95. Why isn't the narrative for the 49ers?
But you know, can I answer the question?
I already know the answer.
Because they made the NFC Championship game. No, they went to the Super Bowl.
Doug, because fans, the Cowboy fans, y'all feel like y'all have done something and what you have not done. I mean, I've been around Cowboy fans. You cannot say nothing wrong about the Cowboys. They'll wake up at the beginning of the season and we going to the Super Bowl. This is our year. We gonna win. By the middle of the season, y'all start winning. Oh, y'all have y'all chest out. Have it how big. Yeah. Hey,
well, put it this way.
Dante see it in Houston. Hey, at the end of the season, when y'all lose, we look for you. Can't be found. That's why.
The big time show is always found. Bottom line is this. We won 12-5 the last 2 years. That's 24 games. Only one other team has won more games. That's Kansas City Chiefs. We win football games. We just have not done it in the postseason, obviously, where it all counts. Can he lead? He's the quarterback that everything has to go right for him to get it done. He's not an MVP type quarterback, but he ain't no trash by no means. He's just a little step below that. He needs his defense to play well. The running game, which is what they're supposed to be leaning on in the first place, has to be at the forefront. He is secondary when it comes to the offense. The running game is first. Passing game, it should be second. If we play it that way, yeah, we can win because the defense is going to be awesome this year.
Mo?
That's all I got to say.
I think he has the ability to take them to a Super Bowl. Dak has talent. He's not an average quarterback, but I agree. He's not in that upper echelon. And it does matter what they put around him in terms of playmakers. He's the kind of quarterback, like Big Time said, if everybody around him is doing right and doing their jobs and he does his job, which means don't turn the ball over, but just run the offense. Yeah, I can see that. I don't see him as a game manager because I think he's more than that, but he's the kind of guy that he shouldn't be the star. Your star, like he said, be your running game. He should feed off of play action pass and get the ball to CeeDee Lamb and the other playmakers and rely on that defense. So can he take them to a Super Bowl? Yeah, I absolutely think he could.
I'm gonna answer because I already know where Coach Dante gonna go with this. Heck no, he can't take him to the Super Bowl. If it looks like a duck, quack like a duck, then it's a duck. I mean, the Cowboys when he first came in the league, that was their best chance because they was finally doing what they were supposed to do. And what was that? They had Zeke Elliott running the football. Running the football. We seen more Zeke Elliott than we did Dak, even though Dak had a great year. But it all started with the running game. And one thing that we know about the Cowboys is that they consistently go away what works. They consistently do not do what they need to do to win football games. So I'm gonna tell you this. Like I said, they are primed. The quarterbacks in the conference should allow them, because I mean you don't have a Russell Wilson to worry about anymore. There's not a Tom Brady to worry about anymore. There's not an Aaron Rodgers to worry about anymore. There's not a Jimmy Garoppolo to worry about anymore. I mean, hey.
We ain't got to worry about them, Freddie. But my goodness, I just heard 10 minutes ago, what we got to worry about is Daniel Jones.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
You don't mute your mic, man.
Yes, sir.
Freddie's wilding.
I mean, this
yeah. We ain't got to worry about that. We got to worry about Daniel Jones. I mean, you would have been better off saying Jared Goff, but I got to worry about Daniel. Let me stop.
I mean, this should be the year. I mean, hey.
We can't get past Daniel, according to you.
You talking about everything right? How much righter can you get with all those quarterbacks gone? I'm gonna tell you, Dak Prescott won't even be a top 5 quarterback in the NFC next year. You have Jalen Hurts.
Oh wow!
You have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I knew you gonna call that name. Give me them other 3 so I can laugh.
You have Justin Fields.
Who?
I like
you basing Justin Fields on what you just saw last year. You are so disrespectful. But go ahead.
Justin Fields looked like Daniel Jones last year.
I mean, good. I mean, come on. Well, give me the other name.
He's gonna be much better this year. You have Kyler Murray. That's gonna be better than Dak Prescott.
He hurt. He might not play until mid-season.
Hey,
Kyler Murray wasn't better than Dak Prescott when both of them were playing. Next name. He talking about Kyler Murray. This dude, I told you, Freddie Madison. Come on, keep going.
Geno Smith.
Come on,
man, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. God bless
I'm
y'all.
gonna give Geno credit.
Y'all have a happy
Geno had an amazing career-defining season. But come on, man, that's disrespecting Dak Prescott.
Since he had it, gonna say David Carr. You gonna say David Carr next? David Carr next. Come on.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Yeah, come on. All right.
Matthew Stafford.
Please go ahead.
A Super Bowl champion quarterback.
Where's his team at, Freddie? Stop it. Next.
Hey, he's better than Dak.
No, he's not.
Derek Carr.
I already knew you were gonna say that. Give me a break.
Talk about a guy to throw picks.
Hey, Dak is the 8th best. Oh man, I'm sorry. At number 8, Daniel Jones. And number 9, Dak Prescott. I totally forgot.
Come on.
Yeah, the guy that had one good year over Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray that can't even elevate.
I've seen Dak Prescott in the play like for the last couple of years. He's not a quarterback that's going to elevate this team. He do not have impact on this team. When he has big games, when he has big games, they lose.
Freddie, it's facts. It's Freddie Facts.
I know.
The facts are what quarter when you throw for 30 touchdowns in every year, that's impact. Stop it.
Let me ask you a question, Doug.
Stop it. When you throw for over 4,000 yards.
Those inflated numbers, bro. Listen, there's a lot of times when the game is over and the opposing team is playing prevent defense, Dak Prescott eats. He gets those numbers that way, those touchdowns that way. It's not. I mean, come on, bro. Like
you act like the Cowboys ain't been leading games.
Even Troy Aikman, your greatest quarterback of all time, Troy Aikman, have even said that.
Freddie, you act like the Cowboys play comeback football every week. They don't line with no prevent defense against us. Hey, what is wrong with you, man?
All I'm saying is when he have big numbers, y'all tend to lose more than y'all win.
I ain't got nothing to say. Anytime man tell me Geno Smith is better than Dak Prescott, I'm done. So this next question, my God, I ain't got nothing to say. You have lost all credibility.
Coach, do you believe Dak Prescott can lead the Cowboys to the Super Bowl?
Like I say, I question that I can question that he can't lead the team to a Super Bowl. I question that because I've seen him too many times come up short. But if you do, he's the type of quarterback. If you do put the right pieces around him, he can do enough to get it done. The problem I have with Dak Prescott most of the time is his decision making starts to get worse. And again, Tony Pollard is going to be out for a little while. He got hurt in the playoffs. I really thought that kind of hurted him. That kind of hurted the offense a little bit. This kind of against San Francisco, but I do think he's that type of quarterback that can win him a Super Bowl if everything breaks right. But I also think that he's that type of quarterback that can kind of shooken up under the pressure. So for right now, I'm gonna have to go with a no. I'm gonna have to go with a no until I see it. But I'm not gonna disrespect the man and say, Geno Smith is better than Kyler Murray ain't better. You talking about that Kyler Murray that shit the bed against the Rams and self-destructed without DeAndre Hopkins and still had decent enough receivers to win. He still couldn't get it done. You talking about a player that can't elevate anybody. Kyler Murray has no business in that discussion with Dak Prescott.
So, Coach, let me ask you a question. Who had a better year last year, Dak or Geno Smith?
Geno Smith, but that's one good season. That's the best season of his career.
Okay,
that's the best season of his career.
All I can go by is what I see. I'm not going back 3 or 4 years ago. We talking about this year.
Freddie said 3 or 4 years. It's been more. Geno been in the league more than a decade. You got a decade's worth of film on Geno. You give him credit for having a career year, but it was a career year, not his career. His career, he was a backup for a reason.
If we're talking about career, Dak have had the better career.
No
but
doubt.
We're talking about right now. Geno is a better quarterback right now.
No, he's not. Not because of 1 year.
Yes, bro. Dak is declining. Have we ever seen Dak throw the ball the way like we've seen this like ever? Like he's like a deer with headlights on him, bro.
Hey, Freddie, don't you ever talk about the Dallas Cowboys again. Keep moving.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, Doug, I know you've been tired of hearing this for 20 years.
You lost me when you said Daniel Jones is the second best quarterback in the NFC East. You lost me. I was done after that. So everything else you done said is just proven. Everybody's watching. Matter of fact, everybody watching on the Big Time Show right now. And y'all, come on, y'all. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear what I got to go through? I mean, this is ridiculous. But go
Freddie,
ahead.
I would just say, I know you're a Giants fan, but we got to see if Daniel Jones could put together 2 seasons back to back. And here's the thing: what Coach Dabo and them did for him, they simplified the offense a lot, like way back in the day when Dan Reeves simplified the offense for Michael Vick. He dropped back to pass. He don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 reads. Daniel Jones had 2 reads, and if they weren't there, he took off running. That people are going to adjust to that. He's going to have to be able to recognize coverages better than he currently does. All I'm saying is the bar has to be set very low when you can throw for 15 touchdowns and everybody's talking about you don't come up. That's a low bar because I guess the reason why is the previous season, the Giants were getting ready to get rid of the man. Now, he goes to town.
Hey, Mo, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I will say this. It had to be simple because the man had no receivers, literally. Like you talking about Kyler Murray don't elevate guys. We've seen Daniel Jones do a better job in elevating guys than we did to see Kyler Murray. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I ain't gonna argue about Kyler Murray. I'm not a Kyler Murray fan, so I'm with you on that.
Let's move to the NBA. This is where it's gonna get fun because we're getting to the part of the season where I believe we're about to see the best basketball from the West and from the East. What player is under the most pressure going into these playoffs? Mo, I'll let you start it off.
I think it's the Joker. Well, it might be a tie between Joker and KD for different reasons. I think it's Joker because even if he doesn't win the MVP, you've won 2 in a row. And you was in the running for a third. You've got the best record in the West. At some point, when you get knocked out in the first and second round, people are going to have to turn around and look at you. Now, to be fair, this season, he's got his whole crew. So he's got Jamal Murray. He's got Porter Jr. He's got his whole crew. So I think they're set to make a deep playoff run. But if you're asking me, do I think in the end, big picture, Denver's coming out of the West? I don't think Denver's coming out the West. And with KD, you make that's a massive shift to go from Brooklyn and join up with Chris Paul, D Book and company. There's no upside. The only upside is you win the championship. If they win a couple of series and then get knocked out, it's a failed season. If they come back next year and they don't win a championship, it's a failed experiment. That whole team is championship or bust. And the problem with that is when I look at them, he's 34, getting ready to be 35. Chris Paul's 37. And neither one of them are the healthiest people in the world. And when you look at the Suns top to bottom, they don't guard anybody. They don't guard anybody. For them to go on a deep run, Book and KD, they have to be great every night. One of them can't have an off night. I just don't think they're at that firepower. I think it's a little bit overrated. I don't see what other people see. I don't see this complete team. I think that, you know what? As much as I'm not big on Denver, I think Denver will have a deeper playoff run than Phoenix.
All right, Coach.
Well, I will have to say the most pressure. I will go with Joel Embiid, and here's the reason why. You're speaking of someone that ain't got out the second round. At least Joker's been to the Western Conference Finals and out of the first round. Joel Embiid has never been to the Eastern Conference Finals as long as he's been in the NBA. You lost 6 straight seasons of not going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know it took a shot by Kawhi Leonard to knock you off, but the next offseason you did lose Jimmy Butler. You got embarrassed in the bubble by the same Boston Celtics. The rookie year of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you got embarrassed by those guys in the second round. Miami Heat, you got embarrassed in the second round on that one. So what point does Joel Embiid? Well, I'm not saying it will be Joel Embiid's fault. I'm not saying that if they lose that series, but if we're going to criticize Nikola Jokic, like I've been saying, about getting out of the second round and not getting the job done, I don't care how great Joel Embiid is. He's got to get the same work. He's got to get the same standard for not getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're too good not to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. He got the MVP award now. Look like he's going to have that wrapped up. That's going to even put more pressure on him to get the job done. You got James Harden. You got a Tobias Harris, who they sit out there on the perimeter all day, who can really turn into a score when he's involved in the offense. You got a young Tyrese Maxey who can get you about 18 points per game. Now, at what point do you finally put the team on your back? And what point does this team finally step up to get up out of the second round? But if they lose this second round, they lose early in the first round or whatever round it is before they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, then Joel Embiid is going to get most of the criticism. I think it's a lot of pressure on Joel Embiid. He's got to get this team out of the second round into the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm going to definitely go with Joel Embiid because 6 straight years and you haven't got past the second round yet. That you got to have the same slander that Joel Embiid, that Nikola Jokic did have. At least he got to the Western Conference Finals. On a year they weren't supposed to even be there before the Lakers beat them. That was a year they weren't even supposed to be there. But now, Joel Embiid, you got to get this team past the second round. You got to get them past the second round.
All right, Doug.
Everybody's right in their case, and I don't think really there are no wrong answers here. And I want to answer it almost 3 different ways, but in fairness to your question, I'm going to have to go with KD. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when you say Denver was never projected to be world champions in the first place. That's the first thing. Nobody picked them to win the finals. When you say, and then just like Coach, what he said about Joel Embiid, which is true, nobody picked Philadelphia to win the championship this year. So there's no expectations, even if they fall short. However, when Kevin Durant got traded for the Phoenix Suns, the only thing you heard was championship. Golden State was not, didn't get off to the big start. So they started losing a little grip. But I think people respect them enough to say, well, you can't count them out or nothing like that. My beloved Lakers were not picked to win the NBA championship this year. But when Kevin Durant went there, everybody said, well, they're not my favorites in the West. They can beat Boston. They can beat whoever comes out of these. So based off that and that alone, I can make a case for a whole lot of other folks as well. I'm gonna go with Kevin Durant. And can I mention an honorable mention?
Please
I'm gonna
don't.
go
Please don't. I think you're gonna take mine. I think.
No, I'm not gonna take yours. I promise you that, because it's not a player.
Okay.
Well, it slightly is. I believe that Ty Lue and the Clippers as a team almost are at that same level, because they're in that championship or bust level as well. Once Russell got there, and see, Kawhi Leonard's legacy is really about to be questioned if they don't go. I'm talking about way out there. And he's slowly but surely getting into a lot of trouble with that as well. So Ty Lue and Kawhi is a very close second, but if I was doing definite, I gotta go KD.
You know what, Doug? I agree with you. I was gonna say Kevin Durant. I was going to. My second was gonna be Embiid. Coach had it. I was gonna say Jokic, and I had Kawhi. I'm gonna go different. Anthony Davis. You are auditioning to continue to play for the most historic franchise in NBA history. Let me say it again. Anthony Davis, you are auditioning to continue to play for the Lakers. We brought you here to take the baton from LeBron, to lead us. Every year, we'll get about 2 weeks of you leading us. Outside of that, we have to depend on a 38-year-old LeBron in year 20. AD, only way that this team is going to be even in a conversation to win a championship is you must be dominant. I don't want to see a 14-point game out of you, AD. I just don't. I understand you get 21 rebounds, but I don't want to see a 14-point game, especially when you're playing against a nobody at the center position. And I blame it. We're gonna get into it in a minute, but AD is under a lot of pressure, and we seen the pressure start winding up when LeBron went down. I mean, AD was afraid to pass gas. You guys, he was under so much pressure. He was under so much pressure. He was afraid to pass gas because he knew what was at stake. And for some reason, these last 3 or 4 games, he's falling off again.
That's a good call. I actually like big time and coaches picks in terms of the most pressure. Those are really good calls. I mean, I agree big time. There's no bad answer, but those are 2 really good answers.
I don't expect nothing from AD anyway. So I mean,
I know you're over him, but I mean,
he's
right
not,
though.
He's not over you're right in a sense. I'm in the firm belief that if the Lakers want to do something, I'm almost in the trade category when it comes to AD. I can't depend on him. We talking about OBJ. My goodness, this dude is the poster child for somebody that you can't depend on. AD ain't that guy. I mean, he's dominant, in spurts, but the consistency is just it's not there. And it is what it is. I've seen enough, so I don't think he's more. You're right, Freddie, from a Lakers vision, but overall, he ain't even on the same plateau with Durant and Embiid by no means. Because there ain't really no expectations for us to win this year.
But
As long as
We playing with house money. We playing with house money in these playoffs this year.
I agree with that. As long as he's on the Lakers, Freddie, though, you make a great point.
Yeah, it's a great point for the Lakers organization. Yeah.
What he does going forward, because as long as LeBron plans on being with the Lakers, if AD comes up short, if he shrinks, I don't think he's a Laker this time next year because LeBron's not going anywhere. So if LeBron's not going anywhere and you don't have any picks per se, the only tradable asset that has value, Anthony Davis.
Let's look at it like this, Freddie, to make it even more plainer. What the coach Dante called out, what Mo Better called out, and what I called out were number one guys on their team. Anthony Davis is considered to be the number 2 player on our team. He's not number 1.
I understand that, but the problem is,
and until he ain't even taken the seat of the throne yet, and he can't really be on this, even on this ladder. I don't think he's gonna be a Laker as well. We can't depend on him. I mean, he's first team All NBA street clothes.
But the problem is, though, I definitely understand. I agree with you. But the problem is, the Lakers brought him in to be number 1, and he has the talent to be number 1.
He can't be number 1 when that gigantic shadow is over him. LeBron James is that until that shadow leaves, we'll never really know. We'll never know. Long as LeBron is there, that there is no chance for you to be number 1. LeBron's shadow still huge. Can't do it.
So that brings us to the next topic. What coach is under the most pressure? And I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna go with Darvin Ham. And I don't know about you guys, but I watch Darvin Ham, and sometimes I question what's the difference between him and Frank Vogel. He has just as bad rotations as Frank Vogel did. To me, he has no pulse. I understand he done something that nobody has ever was able to do, is have Russ come off the bench. But still, other than that, you guys, he makes bad decisions when it comes to rotations. We even seen it last night. Why in the world is LeBron James and Anthony Davis both on the bench? We've seen it in the Clipper game. Gabriel was getting ate up by Zubac. He did nothing. He did nothing to stop the bleeding. He didn't bring Mo Bamba in. He let opposing teams create big leads before calling timeouts. I'm just saying, what is the difference between him and Frank Vogel? I just believe, and we already know when you coach for the Lakers, that's already added pressure. When you coach LeBron James, that's even more pressure. I think the pressure going into these playoffs is on Darvin Ham. We're going to see, will he be able to make adjustments throughout the game? Will he be able to shore up this rotation issue that he has? And these guys, to me, I don't think the players really listen to him. He don't really light a fire under. We've seen too many times where we come out the gate sluggish, lack of energy, look like we're just there. I think he's under a lot of pressure, and whoever else want to go, you can go.
Well, first of all, I want to say this. I'm glad Steven Silas gone from my damn Rockets. I can tell you that goddamn much. That he's fucking gone, so I can tell you that much. I told Mo that on Friday. I'm glad he gone. So that's one less I ain't gotta worry about. But I'm gonna go with Doc Rivers. I think it's obvious. Doc Rivers is probably one up under the most pressure for me because again, his reputation doesn't do him any good. And the Atlanta Hawks lost in the playoffs a couple of years ago, hurt it really, really bad. Really hurt it really bad. 3-1 lead. You blew a game that when you was up 25, you failed to make adjustments on that one. The Atlanta Hawks, they went up, I believe they went up 3, the series, they went up 3-2. Philadelphia went up 3-2. They lost the game. They lost the game 5. They lost the game 5 in an embarrassing fashion. Hawks came back down by 25. They end up winning the game 6, then the game 7, then the game 7. They end up blowing a lead in that game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks. Then again, you come back next year, you get embarrassed, you get out coached by the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler turns into a Super Saiyan. All of a sudden, this year, no excuses. You signed James Harden back. He took a minimum year deal just to come back to the team. And all y'all guys can go out there and do is sign PJ Tucker for a $33 million deal just to give you goose eggs, consistently. The rotations is not right. I just don't see this team being going far in the playoffs. I see them losing at the same round that they lost in last year, the second round to the Milwaukee Bucks or to the Boston Celtics. I just think those two teams are better. But Doc Rivers' reputation doesn't do him no good. And plus, he fails to make adjustments over and over and over again. So he's no doubt he's up under the most pressure, and he can very much be gone if another failed season happened, or if he loses early, which is I think they will lose early in the playoffs. Don't be surprised if he gets canned after this season. So Doc Rivers for me is up under the most pressure.
All right, Mo.
I'll split it because I think in the West is Mike Malone. For a lot of the same reasons when we talk about Embiid and the Sixers. But this season, because you've had the number 1 seed and because Aaron Gordon is healthy and's played well, Porter Jr. is averaging 17 a game. You're getting 20 from Jamal Murray. You've got 2 of the best 3-and-D guys with Brown and KCP. You have every element in terms of competing for a title on your roster. That roster construction is sound. There's no reason other than, I think, a lack of coaching that they don't go. And I'm not talking about a title run. To me, Denver has to at least make the conference finals. But if they don't do that, stars don't get moved. Coaches get moved. You're not moving Jokic. You're not moving Murray because it doesn't work like that. If Mike Malone and company come up short, Mike Malone is going to be on the move.
All right, Doug.
I'm gonna go with exactly what Coach Dante said about Doc, because Doc is in real trouble because of not because of Embiid, it's because of James Harden. James Harden, he folds during this time, and he has to be the guy. I mean, but Doc just can't find the right button to push, and they have to win now. Harden's contract, if I'm not mistaken, I believe is over with this year. So he, nobody's gonna pay him that type of money if he don't finally produce in the playoffs. He got to get it done. But a second close one, it's got to be Monty Williams. It's got to be. It's got to be. Mo Better said something very interesting in his take there when he said that Denver, he wasn't talking about on a title run. He was talking about kind of a building process. Well, and he's right, on that. Nobody really picks Denver to win in the first place. But Phoenix is picked to win now. Ty Lue and the Clippers maybe win now. Philadelphia, if they don't get it done now, they never will. And so I believe those, those type of coaches that have to do it now, they obviously are the one that's under the most pressure. And the reason why, I just named 3 of them. I just think that it's got to be Doc. It's got to be Doc.
No, I agree. All great options. Great choices. Let's bring it to the last topic. Hey, let's congratulate what the Lakers was able to do. They've done something in history that we've not seen in 3 decades. We have not seen a team that started 2-10 come back and make it to the postseason. That's a remarkable defeat. I mean, it's even to a point I even read that LeBron and AD went to the teammates and congratulated each and one of them and thanked them for helping them, get to their feet. And this is a quote from LeBron. He says, "Can you believe that we going to finish this season above 500 after everything that have gone on this season. We've turned this thing around. The question is, in order for this Lakers team to make a deep run, who is going to be more important, Anthony Davis or LeBron James? Doug, I need you to start this one off, sir.
It has to be AD, because if he is not dominant, then there's no chance that they will even win possibly a game in a series. He has to be flat out dominant. It's not really up to LeBron at this point. Even when LeBron puts in big numbers, they still can lose. But when AD goes off, they win. So it really is that simple. LeBron can score 38 points, 37 points like he did the other night, and you be in a tight ball game, possibly lose. But when AD scores 35 and 18 rebounds and all that and 4 blocks, not only do they win, they dominate. So it's really about AD to answer your question. It's really on AD.
All right, now Mo.
I think it's AD. When the Lakers are at their best, when their offense is flowing, AD's aggressive. And I'm not talking about just being fluid offensively. When he's aggressive, you can tell. All you got to do is look up and go, okay, AD shot 12 to 14 free throws. That tells me that he was doing more than settling for jumpers. That tells me he was getting in the post. He was attacking the basket. He was being aggressive. When he's that guy, he's special. When he's just jump shot guy, he's just an average player. They need AD to be aggressive constantly throughout a game. When he's aggressive, LeBron doesn't have to use all his energy up. LeBron can sit back and pick his spots. When LeBron can pick his spots, that's a completely different Lakers team. You have a lot more options because LeBron can say, I'll let you go to work and I'll finish it off in the fourth quarter. For them to go on a deep playoff run, Anthony Davis, the key word for him is aggressive.
All right, Coach.
Oh, it's obvious, man. Like Doug and Mo said, it's Anthony Davis. I mean, they brought you in to be that guy, to be that that secondary guy. If LeBron goes down or something like that, decides to go down, or if he's struggling, you're gonna be the next. You're the next man up. You're the next man up to take the throne, lead us down. So he did that in the bubble. He did very good job. Now it's the time. Now it's the time to come up. It's playoff time now. Now you got to be that guy. And also, he could bet Anthony Davis if he have a mindset of, hey, I'm gonna get to my spot anytime I want to, go to the rim, attack the rim, and be aggressive where he can get more fouls called and get to the free throw line at least 18 or 20 times, he'll be unstoppable. But the only reason why he's not unstoppable because he also helps you rest on the defensive side of the ball because he shoots so many jump shots and he faces up a lot. When it's someone that's bigger than him, he doesn't like to post up. He would just face you up or either shoot a jump shot or either try to go around him. When it's someone smaller, then he'll just try to bogart and go to the rim. No, I need you to probably do that all the time. I need you to be that aggressive Anthony Davis that you have been doing when LeBron was out. And now they're going to definitely need you more than ever because some games LeBron may be tired. Hey, the team is going to have to call upon you So definitely Anthony Davis is the key for the Lakers going deep, winning a championship, or for the Lakers having their success. He was the key in the bubble season. He was definitely the key. He's still the key as of today.
You know what, Coach? I love when you said R because I know you really want to be a part of the fold. So I love when you said R.
I'm being honest. I'm just all around basketball.
No. I love when you said R. I said, okay, Coach, I see you embracing this. It's 3 players to me. Anthony Davis definitely had to be the key. He has to be dominant, just like you guys said. But D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley knocking down shots is going to be very vital for this team to operate. Because if those guys are going, those guys are clicking on all cylinders, nobody can double team Anthony Davis in these playoffs. Nobody can double team LeBron. And when that happens, it's good. Something big is about to happen because I don't like it when teams double team AD. He gets non-aggressive. he gets in a mode where he turns the ball over because he's trying to pass too much. And I just like, and I agree, LeBron, because LeBron gonna get his. We don't have to worry about that. He gonna get his. It's the fact that we need Anthony Davis to be free, and I believe if D'Angelo and Malik Beasley is knocking down shots, hey, we're gonna see a dominant elite Anthony Davis because you're not going to be able to double team him because guys around him is going to be knocking down perimeter shots. So I mean, that's just point blank. Period. The next time you guys see Freddie Facts we'll start the playoffs. We'll go with the first round matchups. Coach Dante Mo Better. Hey, those guys started the first week of the Coffee and Sports Morning Show this week. They did a fantastic job. You can catch them every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central. And they'll be breaking down everything that's going on in sports. They'll be breaking down all the matchups. It's going to be, all next week, you'll see my face on the screen. So just be ready. Just be ready. Hey, and big time. If you ever want to bless the screen, you can, my brother. You can always, that you can always.
I can promise you, after hearing your facts from the day and earlier, I can promise you, I won't be blessing nothing but my show. I promise you that. So I don't look. Everybody, don't look for me. If y'all want to see me, y'all come on down to my show. But I ain't coming to that. No. Just like you just said, Anthony Davis was trying out. No, I got your tryout here. Anytime you see me, Geno Smith and Kyler Murray and all that. I mean, good Lord. Boy, what TV are you watching? Lord have mercy.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see big time on Freddie Facts next week. But this was, I want to thank each and one of you gentlemen for coming on. Thank you, Coach. Big time, Mo Better. You guys have a wonderful Easter. Spend time with your family.
Happy Easter.
Yes, sir.
Happy Easter, y'all.
Hey, thanks to the viewers. Thank you guys for following us. You guys have a happy Easter as well.
The Lord got up. The Lord got up on the mountain. It's Resurrection Sunday. The Lord got up. But he ain't got up in these Freddie Facts. These facts still in the grave. Lord have mercy.
I think Doug just dropped the mic. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. This is Freddie Facts here on the Sports Empire Network. We're out, y'all.